Alhamdulillah, Alhamdulillahi Rabbil Alameen, wassalatu wassalamu ala Sayyidil Mursaleen, amma ba'd, fa'udhu billahi minash shaitanir rajim, bismillahir rahmanir rahim. My dear Islamic brothers and viewers of social media, let's recite Durood Pak upon the beloved and blessed Prophet Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam. If you recite after me, As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Rasulullah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Habiballah. As-salatu wassalamu alayka ya Nabiyallah wa ala alika wa ashabika ya Nurallah. نويت سنة الاعتكاف اللهم افتح لي أبواب رحمتك. Excellence of this reciting Durood and Salam, the Prophet of Rahmah, the intercessor of Ummah, the owner of Jannah, Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wasallam has stated, whoever recites Salat upon me 100 times on the day and night of Friday, Allah Azza wa Jal will fulfill his 100 needs, out of which 70 will be of the hereafter and 30 will be of the world. Sallu ala al-Habib sallallahu ta'ala ala Muhammad sallallahu alayhi wa sallam. Inshallah, today we're going to talk about Hazrat Isa alayhi salam, 300 men metaphors into swine. The companions of Prophet Sayyidina Isa ala nabiyina was salatu was salam once said to him, would your Creator Azza wa Jal bless us with heavenly foods by virtue of your supplication, meaning dua? Sayyidina Isa ala nabiyina was salatu was salam replied, do not ask for such miracles and fear Allah Azza wa Jal. Abstain from this if you are believers. They responded, Your Honor, we have not made this request because of any doubt in your prophethood or in the absolute power of Allah Almighty. Rather, there are 4 purposes for this. Number 1, the first is by eating the heavenly foods, we would seek its blessings, enlighten our hearts, and get closer to Allah Azza wa Jal's mercy. Number 2, the second is we would have Ainul Yaqeen of the glad tidings you have given us that our prayers are answered by our Creator Azza wa Jal. Furthermore, our hearts would have comfort and we would be satisfied to have perfect faith, meaning Iman. Number 3, the third is we would have Ainul Yaqeen of your truthfulness, O Prophet of Allah. And number 4, the fourth is we would see the heavenly miracles, bear witness for others, and this parable of ours would be a means of completion of faith for people till the day of judgment. And we would become witnesses of your prophethood forever. Sayyidina Sulman Farsi, Abdullah ibn Abbas, and the most of other Quran. Sayyidina Sulman Farsi, Abdullah bin Abbas, and the most of other existics, radiyallahu ta'ala anhu, have stated, when the companions assured Prophet Isa ala nabina was salatu was salam that they had not made this request of heavenly food for mere pleasure, but rather they had some righteous intentions. Sayyidina Isa ala nabina was salatu was salam robed himself in a cloak and made of jute and wept as he made dua. Allahumma rabbana anzil alayna ma'idatan minas sama' as-sama'i takunu lana 'idan li awlina wa akhirina وآخرنا وآية منك وارزقنا وأنت خير الرازقين. The translation of the dua is, O Allah, O Rabb Azza wa Jal, send down to us a tray of food from the heavens, so that it may be an Eid for us, for the first and the last of us, and a sign from you, and provide us with sustenance, and you are the best provider of sustenance. Hence, a red dining mat covered with clouds descended. All the people saw it as it was descending. It was then positioned amongst the people. Seeing this, Prophet Sayyidina Isa ala nabiyina wassalatu wassalam wept a lot and made the following supplication, dua: O my Rabb Azza wa Jal, make me from amongst the thankful. O my Rabb Azza wa Jal, let this blessing not be a torment for my companions. Hence, a red dining mat covered with clouds descended. All the people saw it as it was descending. It was then positioned amongst the people. Seeing this, Prophet Sayyidina Isa ala nabiyina wassalatu wassalam wept a lot and made the following supplication, dua: O my Rabb Azza wa Jal, make me from amongst the thankful. O my Rabb Azza wa Jal, let this blessing not be a torment for my companions. The companions smelled such fragrance from it that they had never smelled before. Prophet Sayyidina Isa ala nabiyina wassalatu wassalam and his companions bowed down to perform sajda of shukr, prostration of thanks. Since the dining mat was covered with red cloth, Prophet Sayyidina Isa ala nabiyina wassalatu wassalam asked, who will uncover it? All of his companions requested that he alayhi salam uncover it. Therefore, he made fresh wudu, ablution, offered salah, and he made dua, a supplication, for a long time, and then removed the cover. There were the following things on the dining mat: 7 fish along with 7 pieces of bread. The fish had neither scales nor bones inside it. Oil was dripping from them. Near the heads of the fish was vinegar. By their tails was salt. Along the sides were vegetables lined up. And it is stated in some narration that there were 5 pieces of bread. 1 piece of bread had olive oil on it. The second had honey. And the third had ghee, some type of butter. The fourth had cheese. And the fifth had roasted meat on it. Sha'mun, one of the companions, asked, O Prophet of Allah, are these foods from the earth or heaven? He alayhi salam replied, these foods are neither from the earth nor heaven. They are simply from nature. First the ill, the poor, the starving, those suffering from leukoderma, leprosy and physical disability were called. He alayhi salam said, say Bismillah in the name of Allah and eat. This is the blessing for you and calamities for those who deny. Other people were also given the same instructions. Hence 7,300 people ate the food on the first day. Then that dining mat ascended as people watched it. It flew up and disappeared. All the ill were cured and the poor became wealthy. This dining mat descended for 40 days consecutively, or alternative days, and people ate from it. Prophet Isa ala nabiyina wassalatu wassalam then received a revelation with the commandment that the wealthy would no longer eat from it. Only the poor and destitute would do. When this was announced, the wealthy became displeased and said that all of this was nothing but magic. The wealthy people who denied the divine commandment were 300 in number. When they went to sleep in their homes with their families at night, they were fine and well. But when they woke up in the morning, they had turned into swine, meaning pigs. These swine would run around in the streets and eat filthy feces. When the people saw their state, they are coming running to Prophet Isa ala nabina wassalatu wassalam and wept, and they were crying. These swine also gathered around him crying. Prophet Isa ala nabina wassalatu wassalam would call them by their names, and they would move their heads in response but could not speak. They lived in extremely humiliation condition for 3 days. On the 4th day, they all perished. There were no women or children amongst them. All the nations that were metamorphosed perished. Their lineage did not continue, as this is the divine law. It is stated in the hadith of Tirmidhi that the beloved and blessed Prophet sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wasallam has said, the dining mat with bread and meat was sent down from the skies. It was commanded that there should neither be any breaching in it nor any saving of food for the next day. But those people not only breached but also saved the food for the next day. So they were metamorphosed into monkeys and swine. Those people were ordered not to hide or save anything for the next day, but some did and were turned into swine. As a result, Sayyidina Abdullah bin Amr radiyallahu ta'ala anhu has said, on the day of judgment there will be severe punishments for those non-Muslims of the dining mat, the supporters of Pharaoh and the hypocrites. So my dear Islamic brothers and viewers of social media, did you see the high rank of Prophet Isa ala nabina wassalatu wassalam that Allah Azza wa Jal sent to Medina, dining mat full of blessings by virtue of his dua. The boon of one receiving in the world often comes with bane. Grateful are successful, whereas the ungrateful are unsuccessful. Those who transgress in despite of enjoying boons in abundance are humiliated. As stated in the foregoing Quranic account, that 300 transgressors were turned into swine that hopelessly roamed around for 3 days and perished on the 4th day. We ask Allah Azza wa Jal for refuge from this wrath and displeasure. So my dear Islamic brothers, may Allah Azza wa Jal give us the true understanding of the prophets, and obviously we will learn from this waqiyah not to save something for the next day. But if there was another pandemic to take place, are we those kind of believers who are going to start running and start collecting wealth and storing it in our houses? Look at the saying of the Prophet. So we need to have trust in Allah Azza wa Jal that the sustenance is from Him and not from people and not from leaders. So may Allah Azza wa Jal give us this good understanding. Ameen. Bijahin Nabil Ameen. Sallallahu ta'ala alayhi wa alihi wa sallam. If I made any mistakes, I ask Allah Azza wa Jal to forgive me. Ameen.